Jaya Radha Madhava Kund Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kund Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kund Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Go to Pimanande. Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Chilo Boy Charan Narvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namasari Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Tiny Tagore Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksurandilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhisham Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bhakti Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Shyam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaga Raghunathan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paridhana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Sya Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Siti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyaeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Amudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, Let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sabadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhaviti Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Karoti Vachalam Pangom Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our morning program. In particular, Bhagavatam class. We are beginning a new chapter, brand new chapter this morning, from the first canto, chapter 18, entitled Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit, accursed by a Brahmana boy. Text number 1. Sutta Uvacha Yo Vai Drauni Astra Viplusto Na Matur Mrittaha Anugrahad Bhagavataha Krishnasya Bhuta Karmanaha Sutta Uvacha Yo Vai Dronyastra Viplusto Namatur Udare Mritaha Anugrahad Bhagavata Krishna Syad Bhutta Karmanaha Sutta Uvacha Yo Vai Dronyastra Viplusto Namatur Udare Mritaha Anugrahad Bhagavata Krishna Syad Bhutta
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः
सुत उवाच यो वै द्रोण्यस्त्र विप्लुष्टो
यो वै द्रोण्यस्त्रविप्लुष्टो
न मातुर उदरे मृतः
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
अनुग्रहाद् भागवत
अनुगृहात् भगवतः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकामनः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः
सूत उवाच
सूत उवाच
यो वै द्रोण्यस्त्रविपृष्टो
यो वै द्रोण्यस्त्रविप्लुष्टो
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
अनुग्रहात् भगवतः
अनुग्रहाद् भागवतः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः सूत उवाच
सुत उवाच
यो वै द्रोण्यस्त्रविप्लुष्टो
यो वै द्रोणस्य विप्लुष्टो
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
अनुगृहात् भगवतः
अनुग्रहाद् भागवतः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकामनः
सूत उवाच
सुत उवाच
यो वै द्रोणस्त्रविप्लुष्टो
यो वै द्रोणस्य विप्लुष्टो
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
अनुग्रहाद् भगवतः
अनुग्रहाद् भागवतः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकामनः
सुत उवाच
सूत उवाच
यो वै द्रोणस्त्रविप्लुष्टो
यो वै द्रोणस्त्रविप्लुष्टो
न मातुरुदरे मित्रः
न मातुरुदरे मृतः
अनुग्रहाद् भगवतः
अनुगृहात् भगवतः
कृष्णस्य भूतकर्मणः
कृष्णस्याद्भुतकर्मणः
Sutta Uvacha. Sri Sutta Goswami said,
Sri Sutta Goswami said,
Yaha, one who,
Why?
certainly, Droni Astra, by the weapon of the son of Drona,
by the weapon of the son of Drona,
Viplustaha, burned by, na,
na,
never,
never,
Matuhu,
Matu,
of the mother, Udare, in the womb,
in the womb,
Vrittaha, met his death, Anugrahat,
Anugrahat,
by the mercy,
mercy,
Bhagavataha,
Bhagavataha,
of the personality of Godhead,
of the personality of Godhead,
Krishnasya, Krishna,
Krishna,
Adbhuta Karmanaha,
Karmana,
who acts wonderfully.
who asked wonderfully.
A translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Sri Sutta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burnt. Kindly repeat after me. Sri Sutta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb could not be burnt. Purport. The sages of Naimisaranya became struck with wonder after hearing about the wonderful administration of Maharaj Parikshit, especially in reference to his punishing the personality of Kali and making him completely unable to do any harm within the kingdom. Sutta Goswami was equally anxious to describe Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful birth and death. And this verse is stated by Sutta Goswami to increase the interest of the sages of Naimisaranya. Translation again. Sri Sutta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burnt. Jai. Hare Krishna. It reminds me when Prabhupada was present, when I came actually here in Mayapur, and so many foreigners, and the whole morning program leading up to the Bhagavatam class, Guru Puja had been completed, and everyone was settling down, and Prabhupada had just come and had taken seat on the Vyasasan, and just out of the blue, a group of foreigners just happened to come at that and sat down.
Regular people.
Huh?
Ordinary
people.
Some random
Yeah.
visitors.
Of course, you know people. That wasn't the point.
Here, foreigner people came. It's quite uncommon. This place was like a very, very remote.
Well, in 1976.
Yeah, without any proper road.
Right. Yeah, it was like, Krishna's, as mentioned here, Krishna works in wonderful ways for his devotees. So we just read the translation and purport, so you're just coming at the right time.
What was Srila Prabhupada's reaction? Did he just gave class?
No, Prabhupada just gave the class, and it's reminiscent, of course, of the whole Pandal many years ago when your Guru Maharaj was sitting way in the back. Across Maidan, yeah.
First time he saw.
First time he was in a big assembly of devotees like this, and Prabhupada had noticed somehow and had sent, I think,
Gurudas.
Gurudas. Yeah, had sent Gurudas to get him all the way from the back. How come I'm here? I purposely sat in the back. And yeah, right.
So it gives quite many lessons. I was hearing, he actually saw a big board.
Yeah.
Which was arranged by, I think,
Shamsundar
Prabhu and Jairaj Swami.
Right.
And it shows that we should also advertise ourselves.
Right. Yeah. Boards are important.
Very important. Second, he was going to see the books, and Shamsundar Prabhu thought that he is an Indian person.
Okay.
And he says, "You can read English?" I'm American. You can read English.
Right.
He had all this matted thoughts, and he was
correct.
And he was very skeptic.
Yeah.
Like a sadhu coming from somewhere.
Correct. So this is setting the scene, the very first verse in this chapter, entitled Maharaj Parikshit Cursed by a Brahmana Boy. And of course, there is reference to the miraculous survival of Parikshit Maharaj, reminiscent of Prahlad Maharaj also, who was put in so many trying conditions. I mean, he was uh, Hiranyakashipu tried in so many ways to kill his son, Prahlad Maharaj. But when, what is that saying? Uh, Mare Krishna Rakeke, Rake Krishna Mareke. Yeah, whenever Krishna wants to save someone, no one can kill. And if somebody is, his time is up, no one can save him. Yeah. So this is mentioned in the text. Adbhutta Karmanaha. Adbhut. Just like we are, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning about Adbhut Mandir. Adbhut Mandir, TOVP, one day will manifest in Mayapur. So the Lord acts in wonderful, unexpected ways, as he did to save Parikshit Maharaj within the womb. And the sages, two things are nicely brought out here, amongst other things. Um, sages of Naimisharanya were, here it mentions, were struck with wonder. They were amazed to see the prowess of Parikshit Maharaj in confronting Kali and in punishing him by restricting him from being in certain and therefore they are anxious. They are anxious to hear more about Parikshit Maharaj, and it also mentions how Sutta Goswami, who was greatly fortunate to be right there when Shukadeva Goswami was describing, was reciting the whole Bhagavatam. He was also anxious to share more information about um, about Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah. So this is setting scene for more more katha.
More questions, answers.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the beginning of when Vyasadeva wrote and spoke, and then Shukadeva Goswami, it's increasing the size of Bhagavatam.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's full of so many different persons, especially that begins that whole exchange, that whole interest exchange of questions and answers begins with Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and then it just carries on with Vidura and Maitreya and Narada and Yudhishthir and so many other personalities like that. Yeah. Okay, we'll just continue here. Text number 2. Brahma kopotitad yastu
Brahmakopitada yastu
takshakat prana viplavat
Takshakaranavibhavat
na sammuho horu bhayad
Nasammohorubhayat
bhagavatya pitashayah.
Bhagavatyarpitashayah.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Furthermore, Maharaj Parikshit was always consciously surrendered to the personality of Godhead, and therefore He was neither afraid nor overwhelmed by fear due to a snake bird which was to bite him because of the fury of a Brahmana boy. A self-surrendered devotee of the Lord is called Narayana Parayana. Narayana Parayana means
Person never afraid of.
Parayana
He's
means pure,
Paran
no?
means
Parayana means
Spotlessly pure, no?
Surrendered, fully
Paran.
surrendered.
Mat Paran.
protect,
Surrendered.
surrendered.
One who is.
One who is surrendered.
One who is surrendered. Such a person is never afraid of any place or person, not even of death. For him, nothing is as important as the Supreme Lord, and thus he gives equal importance to heaven and hell.
Oh, he's paraphrasing that verse. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana bipyati svarga aparga narkeshu darshinaha. In the pastimes of what is it, Chitraketu. So when Chitraketu was cursed to become a demon, this verse comes in Bhagavatam. He says that he was not disturbed because whether it's hell or heaven,
Yes,
Narayana Parayana, he's not
yes,
afraid. He's not
yes.
always
Oriented to Ram Narayan.
I have my connection. No one can take it away. Yeah, correct. Yes. So, such a person, he knows well that both heaven and hell are creations of the Lord. And similarly, life and death are different conditions of existence created by the Lord. But in all conditions and in all circumstances, remembrance of Narayana is essential. The Narayana Parayana practices, okay, the Narayana Parayana, the person who is Narayana Parayana, practices this constantly. Maharaj Parikshit was such a pure devotee. He was wrongly cursed by an inexperienced son of a Brahmana who was under the influence of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit took this to be sent by Narayana. He knew that Narayana, Lord Krishna, had saved him when he was burnt in the womb of his mother. And if he were to be killed by a snake bite, it would also take place by the will of the Lord. The devotee never goes against the will of the Lord. Anything sent by God is a blessing for the devotee. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was neither afraid of nor bewildered by such things. That is a sign of a pure devotee of the Lord. Yes. So this is the location of the very elevated and advanced consciousness of Parikshit Maharaj, who he was playing the role of a king. It means that even somebody who is engaged in so many worldly activities, having so many responsibilities, so many uh, persons. Uh, Generally, when there's a good king, people glorify the king, give him so much of respect. Uh, Kings have so much of power. But when one is Krishna conscious, even in this kind of seemingly worldly situation, uh, then he, uh, even faced with great obstacles, great difficulties, he remains uh, Narayana Parayana. He remains fixed in consciousness, and therefore is never afraid of any situation, not afraid of any place, not afraid to go to any place. That's why in the early days, devotees had that kind of conviction, Prabhupada, go to Africa, go to this place, go to that place. And devotees, they would just spontaneously, they would go. Prabhupada had infused, you know, uh, what he carried himself, because he went to a whole new place, new country.
It was quite risky.
Well,
Quite a risky task.
Prabhupada mentions that, old people don't even venture out of the house, what to speak of going to a new country. True. I mean,
It is more of an endeavor when you're older. It is remarkable, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, just that very fact of going to a Western country, someone at that advanced stage is like,
Especially for many people thinking those who were devotionally,
oh yeah,
it's
taboo.
like going to hell.
Oh yeah.
It
Injunction is there in the Shastra, right? One should not travel.
Actually,
Don't cross the
he was
seven.
cursed automatically, so he accepted the curse. Because Brahmanas told, according to the Shastra, if anyone leaves, then he's actually cursed like going to the hell.
His
So he
names
just
are
accepted
impure.
voluntarily.
He will lose his caste, he will become impure if he cross the ocean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just reading, I mean, those years in the
Right.
when Prabhupada would meet, especially before meeting Sumati Morarji for the ticket,
Yes.
he would live there and meet and talk to people, and sometimes he would get very disturbed that people they don't take up. They are like they're completely in ignorance and not understanding.
Right. Well. Right.
Those
There is a morning walk conversation in which the disciples told Prabhupada the same thing, that Prabhupada, you're a very brave man to come to America at such an advanced age. So Prabhupada, I was always brave. He said, as a young boy, when I was, in Scottish church colleges or maybe just before that, the Victoria Memorial was just under construction.
Ah,
big
It was all
building in
restricted
Calcutta.
area.
okay.
There is a scaffold and restricted area. You're not supposed to say. I used to just,
Ah,
while I was in construction,
correct.
example is a response. I was always.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Maharaj, I was just thinking, listening to the verse Narayana Parayana, how devotees like Maharaj Parikshit are glorified for being completely fearless, not a second thought
Yes.
under any circumstance.
Yes.
And yet we also have in the prayers of Queen Kunti and in the story of Draupadi, we have stories of great devotees who became fearful. Draupadi was, hey Govinda, hey, became very fearful when she took shelter of Krishna.
Yes.
And Queen Kunti is in her prayers remembering all the times of great distress
Yes.
and fear, and she took shelter of Krishna.
Yes.
So it seems both are glorified in the Bhagavatam.
Right. This point is being uh, brought out also how because someone who is in that very fixed, very steady, and that is uh, one of the signs of advanced persons. Uh, he, he's not. He takes all things in a positive way, even so many so-called negative things that may be happening. He knows he accepts it, and he finds something
the positive
positive.
side of that.
Yeah.
The original positivity which is being taught nowadays in the world is coming from Bhagavatam.
Right.
Because everybody is speaking about positivity, but this is the real positivity.
Correct. Yes. Well, uh, somewhere in the Bhagavatam it mentions that Bhagavatam is the answer to all
Right,
questions.
Yeah,
So
I mean, nowadays there are big corporate
corporates.
gurus which
Correct.
are
Yeah,
teaching that.
yeah. Some of them must have read Bhagavatam.
Rich, how can I take positive way when I recognize that one scorpion appears in my room
Yes.
and I don't know what to do?
Yeah. Shall I tell you positive side? Positive side, should I tell you?
Yeah, how to take it like a positive.
It gives you more opportunity to chant Hare Krishna because little fear is there. Like Mataji was saying,
Okay.
some anxiety comes,
Yeah.
and those anxieties Swamiji Devi says that they remind us more about Krishna, because anyway this whole world is said to be run by fear. I mean, there is fear because these are ahar maithunam bhai, ahar nidra bhai maithunam. So it's bhai which is explained as to defend. It also translates as fear.
Yes.
So when there is fear, then you defend. So in that thing that
Healthy.
fear may come, so devotees may not think that if I am feeling fear, then I may not be surrendered, but that's an opportunity to surrender.
That is there, and also devotee, the very advanced devotees, they know that this scorpion, he's either going to bite me or not going to bite me. It's up to Krishna.
Right. Yeah. And then whatever Krishna has given me intelligence, I'll use it to put him.
Yeah, even if he bites me, I mean, this is a very appropriate example actually, because
Right,
the
right.
snake is going to
I
bite.
mean, a snake is little even more active than a scorpion. A scorpion walks little slow, but a snake goes very fast.
Yes,
I mean, we meet snakes now and then at our Nandi sanctuary, and sometimes they are very ferocious
correct.
because they are kind of also afraid of their life. Any snake actually becomes, I mean, they are envious, that's one part.
Right.
The other part is because they are fearful of their own life,
Yes.
they kind of show fangs and they try to.
All rasas have their role in Krishna consciousness. That's another thing. Except for envy, everything has a place in service of Krishna,
Right.
including fear.
No, but envy also.
Envy also, yes. Healthy envy, yes.
Please,
Should be envious of how advanced
And
others
that's
are.
exactly it.
or like envy, like the two groups are there.
Yeah.
Topmost.
Yeah. Just like Prabhupada in one lecture explaining how, Krishna sometimes he cheats, So the cheating propensity, Prabhupada is explaining, is there in us. I mean, we experience, because where does it come from? It comes from Krishna, even that cheating propensity.
But it doesn't mean that if we see the scorpion coming, that we just sit there.
No.
No.
Krishna has given intelligence.
Krishna is giving intelligence.
Yes.
Right. There's a story told. I'm sorry, you were going to say
No,
something.
no, go ahead.
There's a story told about. Actually, I got the. This was many years ago. I was in the hospital and I was in a ward, and this born again Christian minister came into the ward. There were like 3 other beds in the ward. And he was going to each lady and, Sister, let us pray to the Lord to heal you. And he was going very florid, very, and then he'd go to the next one. And I was saying, I was thinking, what's going to happen when he comes to me?
Yeah.
He was doing in a slightly different way for each person. Then he came to me and he started. And then I said, he said a few words like that. And then I said, how do you know that God wants me to be cured? And he stopped. He said, well, I don't. I said, maybe God doesn't want me to be cured. So why should I pray like this? And he said, he just looked at me and walked out.
You were not wearing tilak.
Pardon?
Were you wearing
No,
tilak?
I was in a hospital ward, you know.
Okay, yeah, right.
I was not wearing tilak.
Krishna gave you that those words to come
Yes,
out.
he did. He did.
Exactly.
And then I was laughing. I was laughing after. I thought, wow, that's amazing. I said that.
Right, right, right. You were
Sure.
saved from the whole sermon. Or whatever.
So you know, the idea is that you know we are depending on Krishna. You know, ultimately, it's up to Krishna.
Yes.
We do the needful. That's Bhagavad Gita, right? We act as if everything depends on us and know that everything depends on Krishna.
Yes.
We do our duty.
Yesterday there was a glorification of one of our god brothers who just passed away, Anandamai.
Who?
Anandamai, maybe you didn't know
I
him.
didn't know him. But
Yeah,
I was in Vrindavan. I didn't know
right.
him.
It was secluded and kind of
Well, you know, even people
like
in
not-
India,
not-
even people in India who were not in Vrindavan didn't know him. One devotee was, you know, they were having glorification. One devotee was telling, you know, I was coming to Hyderabad temple, and it took me 5 years to even meet or know about Anandamai, because he's one of those rare devotees who served in the same temple for 53 years.
Oh,
Wow.
He came from
quite
France.
steady.
You know, he came from France in the days when Prabhupada was, you know, here in India, and he got direct instruction from Srila Prabhupada actually to help print and translate his books in Telugu language. And he took that to heart, and for his whole life actually. And one devotee, yeah, well, this one devotee was telling, because he had his office like in the basement, and he this devotee would just, you know, be coming at different times, but he never kind of like met him, because he was not, you know, he was just a very simple, humble devotee. The devotee in his glorification was telling very nicely. He says, you know, those who are fortunate to come to Krishna consciousness, I mean, that is their great fortune to come to Krishna consciousness, you know, to come in contact with the movement, with the whole philosophy. And even more fortunate, of course, are those who stay, you know, within consciousness for the whole life. And even more fortunate are those who leave in Krishna consciousness. Who, yeah.
Right.
I mean, to come is a rare opportunity and a great fortune. To remain and then to leave in that same consciousness as well. Because I was in Hyderabad just you know, 10 days back, or like just maybe 1 week before he actually passed away. He had come to the temple also, but he was moving with great difficulty. You know, he had one of those walkers, you call it, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd come to the temple. I mean, all of these years, he was like every single day at Mangalarti, every single day
Hare
hearing
Krishna.
Bhagavatam. You know, he was very,
Personally take care of such like
well, yeah,
step.
yeah.
If you allow, I take a minute to glorify two great disciples of Prabhupada, which I had the fortunate to associate. So I was living in Miami,
Ah,
Hispanic place, and you know,
how long did you stay in Miami?
5 years.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, right.
And you know, the congregation Hispanic population is not very materially prosperous, so the temple always struggling. At one point, there were 70 brahmacharis.
70.
70
Wow.
in Miami. It's a very large temple.
Okay.
It's a, you know, it's a very nice posh area, but but it has been in a little dilapidated state. Two disciples of Prabhupada. One is Dharma Prabhu. He's a brahmachari since 70s. So those 70s brahmacharis over a period of left or whatever, and he's the only pujari. There are other pujaris who come and help on the weekends, but he does all the artis throughout the day, prepares bhoga, and he has been doing year after year, day after day since early
This
70s till date.
to this day. Okay.
And
Dharma.
there's another Prabhupada disciple, Siddha Vidya Prabhu. He left the body in 2012.
Okay.
Steve Sokolov, he was the son of a multimillionaire in Nebraska. And then when he joined the movement in 70s, it was sometime in Houston, then he moved to Miami. Every single day, whether it's hurricane, no one comes or not, he attends a full morning program. No one's in the Bhagavatam class, he will do it, go to book distribution, go on Sankirtan. Even no one's joined, just one person, go out on Sankirtan,
Yeah.
and day after day for this many years. And people just knew him, he was a liberated person.
Right,
Very
right.
amazing devotees, so
Right, right.
inspiring. Never
Yeah, yeah.
seen anything like
Yeah.
that.
Prabhupada himself, I heard, would sometimes alone go on Harinam in some villages. Prabhupada was, yeah, there are such exalted personalities who just fully, completely, took to heart the mission and the orders and instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. Close associates. Yeah. Yes.
Just 1 second. Which you mentioned that the Bhagavatam is full of conversations. That shows that actually, if someone wants to understand spiritual knowledge, it's not like I study some scriptures, principles, but I have conversation with other Vaishnavas. So that is the main method, not just reading or studying.
Yes. Well, actually, good point. Which we can see actually when we hear of the Goswamis in Vrindavan, because the Goswamis in Vrindavan were doing two things. They were individually probably spending hours and hours every day, but at a certain time of the day they would come together, usually in the afternoon, and they would spend, I don't know, they would discuss, they would exchange, they would.
All discussion was about great personalities, about
What I can just imagine what kind of sangha that
elevated.
was. It's like one was able to be hearing the live commentaries, not the written commentaries, but the live discussions of these great personalities. Yeah. Well, that's especially for those who are, we could say, designated, or I mean, those who are of a Brahminical nature, especially, whose primary, we could say, service is to spend hours and hours. And in many ways, part of what we're trying to do is to kind of facilitate and create that situation where individuals actually can, because there's a great need for having, you know, such devotees who are very, very learned, because they're allowed, the system allows them to actually take up that service, which in the early days especially, and maybe even now, I don't know, was kind of like discouraged. There's so much of service to do, but there's there's a need for facilitating individuals who have that kind of inclination and ability to spend, because it's quite rare actually, and 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 to hear from such persons as well, which a lot comes out in discussions like this.
At the same time, they were doing outreach also, working with the Mughal kings to make sure they are able to build temples, they are not destroyed, solving people's problem. The villagers used to come to Sanatana Goswami, have this problem, that problem, so on.
Community outreach.
Right.
And that way they were basically preaching, like engaging. Madhavendra Puri, when he came, Madhavendra Puri engaged the villagers that I got this dream, and we should go there. And then everybody came, and it was all bushes and everything was not
correct.
so easy to
And then they installed.
And then installed and festivals going on. And
right.
I was listening to that the whole village came and they brought all the bhoga, and the bhoga was huge.
Yes.
And then the next village said, we also want to do. So then it was like village after village was coming. But speaking village, actually, and I was relating to that Pandavas when the kingdom, they were Pandava says, give us 5 villages.
Right, right. Right,
They
right.
didn't say that give us some kingdom or some part of 5 villages, but everybody knew that Pandavas, because they are Kshatriyas, when they will have 5 villages, then they will have 50 villages. Because everybody wants to surrender to a personality who is taking care of.
Correct.
That's why he didn't want to give a needle worth of land.
That's why, because he basically knew that envy was there. Yes.
Yes.
And it says in that story in Chaitanya Charitamrita also that
Yeah.
the villagers, they didn't just bring bhoga. They brought a cow. For the
Cow.
deity. They brought a cow.
Okay. Yes, yes.
This is quite amazing.
And just quickly before we finish, Prabhupada's quote: keep the cow, take sufficient land, grow your food,
That's
and
right.
chant Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Just doing little preparation for Kartik seminar. And this is something which can be like a mantra.
Yes, yes, yes.
Basically, then you can't peacefully chant Hare Krishna means for the community. Means we are not speaking about just a Brahminical class. Brahminical class may be even going to just ask, beg.
Right.
So they are not, that class is dependent, like, I mean, I'm saying like austere Brahmas, but then there is a whole major class. Like Brahman class, like head is small, but then there's a whole body.
Yes.
So that's like a sutra, how community can survive and keep chanting and make an atmosphere, like Maharaj said, that make a platform.
Yes. Yesterday I was having, anyway, yeah.
We have 2, 3,
Where was the minutes?
6.
I was having interesting discussion. I was having a conference call with some devotees from Ukraine.